Hi, beautiful friends. I have a reading for Virgo today. I have your cards out on the table, and I think this is going to be a really beautiful reading. It feels as though you're undergoing a bit of a spiritual awakening. Not that it's your first spiritual awakening, but it certainly does seem to be another one if you've already had one or several before. And this one, at least for some of you, it feels like this has been triggered by conflict. Now, this might have been conflict in a relationship with somebody. It might have been inner conflict, but conflict at some level. It feels as though in this reading, you're rebuilding after conflict. So in your underlying energy, I have momentum after a period of some confusion. So I get the sense from this that for a while you might have felt a little bit stuck, and that something happened that caused the wheels to finally start turning, and that started to trigger an awakening of sorts that has been really powerful for you. In the underlying energy, I also have this reformation, cocooning sort of card. And even before this came out, I had written down the word reformation and renewal. Those were words that were coming out for me. And I can't remember if I also ended up pulling the renewal card. I don't think I did. But reformation and renewal were coming out as words for me to write down. I have a little sticky here. Also some self-awareness and some self-examination. So it feels as though a portal has opened up for you through conflict of some sort that has led you to really start to look inward and learn more about yourself. Along with that, in your underlying energy, I have, they are deeply sorry. Now, this card could apply to you, or it could apply to somebody else who you're in a relationship with. I want to say it's you because of the rest of the cards on the table, but it could even be both. But we're starting off with this realization. I love that the realization card has this keyhole, and that there's someone standing in this doorway of the keyhole where they had previously sort of been in the dark. And it's like they were finally able to open this up, and they're about to walk through this space into what I want to say is a more full version of reality. Before this door opened, it might have felt as though a mindset or something was causing some degree of illusion. I think I even wrote down illusion and stagnancy. So this feels like getting the wheel turning again, and creating momentum in your life led for this portal to open that then sort of gave you a completely different way of looking at whatever was going on, or a completely different way of looking at a relationship or yourself. And this has led to this Nine of Cups sort of awakening. When I looked at this card today, what I saw from it was awakening. It feels like almost in a celebratory way. And then along with that, I have, you are so loved. So what started to sort of come to mind for me is that this awakening has you recognizing that you are loved, that you might have been in a place of lack around that before, and this darker mindset of your own worth or your own value or a relationship or something like that. And somewhere along the way, because of this conflict, either inside or outside, it triggered what was probably a little bit of a painful process that then led you to lean in to a healing process that invited love in. Not love with this person or with some external factor, love inside of you that's connected with the divine, that's connected with source, that's connected with whatever it is that fits within your belief system. Pure love and light. It feels as though that's the light that you're walking into here. The light of love. And that when you were out here, the illusion had to do with the sense that you were not worthy of that, or that that wasn't real, or that there was something blocking your access to that, when really it was available all along. It just was a matter of figuring out how to find the key inside of you to unlock this portal. So in the next row, what I have is this Two of Wands and Truth. The truth to me is speaking about you arriving to a place of greater understanding of the truth about you, about life. And then this Two of Wands energy is saying something to me about now that the wheels are turning and that you're no longer stuck and you're moving beyond this place of lack. You're sort of starting to look up and around you like she's looking out the window, as though you're saying, wow, look how much light there is out there. There's a lot to see. There's a lot to do. I don't have to stay here. I can now walk through this portal and have new adventures. It feels as though all of that's an idea right now. because I sense that you're in this place of cocooning and healing still. But from this place, the gears are turning, the light is turning on. See how she has her gaze lifted to the sky and all this energy swooshing around her. It's like in that place of cocooning, there's so much magic happening. There's this awakening that's happening in there. There's some interest and energy that's being generated that's forward moving. And then along with all of this, I have they are hurting and they are healing. I thought it was really interesting that these came out. And remember, there was also they are deeply sorry that had come out. Now, again, I'm not sure if this applies to you, to somebody else, or to both of you. It might even be different for all of you. In any reading, when there are two energies present, potentially any reading that has to do with a relationship, you can swap the roles because sometimes the energies can go in either direction, but they are hurting and they are healing, whether it be you or somebody else. I sense that it does include you though because of this cocooning energy and all of this renewal reformation stuff happening. So in the next row, I'll start off with this Two of Cups that came out. Two of Cups is about a relationship. And in the context of this reading, I would apply this in two ways. I feel like this is referencing your relationship with yourself, your relationship with the divine, that there has been some acknowledgement that you are loved, that you are worthy of love. But I also feel like it is speaking about a relationship because what I got along with that was armor up. So I think that this is referring to the relationship where there was the conflict that triggered all of this to begin with. Then with that, what came out was gratitude. And what I love about this particular gratitude card coming out with armor up is there's this beautiful flower and it has a bubble around it. This particular flower has a light that's come on inside of it, and the bubble around it seems to be really protecting that light. It feels like it's this light of awareness that has turned on, but it's so new, it's fragile, and it does need some protecting. So the armor up to me speaks about that as well. And really throughout this whole reading, I do get this sense of vulnerability in the same way that I would get a feeling of vulnerability for a brand new plant that just started to grow. It's like you don't want anyone to step on it. You don't want the wind to blow too hard around it. It's brand new. And so you want to protect it. You'd want to protect this light and this flower that's blooming. You want to shield it from harsh energies around you that might suck you back in or cause you to lose some footing, lose some ground. Okay, so in the last row, what I have is the Ten of Swords, which speaks about endings. In the traditional tarot, there's somebody lying down with 10 swords in their back. So it really does signify the end of a cycle, the end of a relationship, the end of something. But what's so beautiful about the Ten of Swords is that it also talks about beginnings. Right on the heels of the end is the beginning of the next chapter. Even in the traditional Ten of Swords card, where the person is lying there with the swords in their back, they're making a symbol with their hand that symbolizes new beginnings. And this reading in general speaks so beautifully about that. It's highlighting the fact that in order for this new beginning to happen, this needed to happen first. And then interestingly, two cards came out that are very specific, so it might not apply to everybody, but the June and July card came out along with the Ten of Swords. So what that tells me is that this ending happened in June or July, or momentum started building toward this ending around June or July for at least some of you. And then so along with that, what I have is let God lead, you're being guided, and use your heart. Remember in the beginning, we had this card where it felt to me like this darker period was sending a message that where you had been or where you're emerging from is this place of feeling separate from lovability, from love, from light, right? Until this portal opened. And so this really seems to be talking about that. When you're in the dark, you may feel like you have to handle all of this alone. But now that you're walking through this portal, this is you sort of walking through that into the light, you can set your burdens down. You can finally rest and let Source, let God, whatever it is that guides you, whatever it is that might symbolize this light to you, let yourself rest in that. Put down the need to control all of the variables. This is saying you're being guided. You don't need to force right now. You don't need to figure everything out right now. This is a renewal process. It really needs to unfold at its own pace. So along with that, what I had, did I already say growth? I don't think I mentioned growth. So along with that, I did get this growth card. What's so beautiful about this to me is that now that you're emerging, you're coming back out into the sunlight, you're finally able to move out of stagnancy. You can finally start to feel like there's momentum again in your life and nurturance, love, when we're talking about growth, like our nutrients. And so this growth card, you can see here, I don't know how well you can see it, but it's like this person, and they have these roots that are wrapped around their world, essentially. And this is sort of like a tree trunk body. And all over it are these little green shoots of growth, tiny little buds. And so this is one of the reasons why I was talking about why this whole reading feels a little vulnerable and fragile, and you really do want to armor up and protect what's growing, because there might be external factors or individuals or energies that would love to put an end to this growth. So without your boundaries, without you really allowing yourself to be protected and guided by source, rooting yourself in love, it feels as though some of this forward momentum could be halted. So this seems to all be saying, allow love to serve as a barrier of protection around you right now. Allow it to be your cocoon. And in this place, allow yourself to germinate so that these little seedlings of growth can continue to bring new life to you, new growth to your life. It feels like you've been through a lot, honestly, but it also feels as though that season is finally ending, as long as you allow this process to be the renewal that it's meant to be. It's hard to get off of a deeply worn path that we've been traveling on for a long time and to get onto a different track. It takes forceful momentum like this to get us going in a new direction. And inertia has this way of wanting to pull us back to where we were. And so really safeguard and protect this process. It's very beautiful. And I'm really excited for you to see where it leads, because depending on where you are in this process, it might still feel really painful. But I sense that once you've had some time to really repair and renew, it's going to feel amazing. It's going to feel like this. Look at this welcome card. This is what's awaiting you once you walk through here. Really, really beautiful. Okay, I want to get you an angel number, and then you will be all set with this reading. If you feel comfortable sharing with me a little something about how this reading pertains to you, I'd love to hear about it. All right, I have 1199. Say goodbye to the old and welcome the new. Change, guardianship, and growth. Wow. Growth, your new growth. Guardianship, this boundary around this beautiful flower that's opened up, and this light that is inside of it, and this armor up. It is all about guardianship. You safeguarding this process in your life. My goodness. Okay, and then it says, a new door has been opened for you. You now have the opportunity to look directly at your thoughts and look at your creation face to face. Let the old disintegrate, because it will be replaced by the new according to what you want. Wow. So this is really speaking to your thoughts playing a really important role right now. And that's another form of boundary. I mean, we were talking about external boundaries, but when we're working on our mindset and we're working on our thoughts, that's an internal boundary that we set for ourselves. Meaning, if we feel ourselves starting to spiral into an old way of thinking, maybe a mindset of lack around love or worthiness, setting a boundary for ourselves is really important to protect this new growth by anchoring ourselves in our new truth that's emerging. And there are so many ways to do this, but an example could be countering those thoughts with a really positive mantra that you then allow yourself to repeat and return to as needed. A mantra, something along the lines of, I am loved. I am worthy. I literally just picked up this deck of cards, and what was showing when I picked it up was inner child, which is so perfect because that's who we're speaking to when we're challenging that negative self-talk and we're setting a boundary inside. We're setting that boundary to protect our inner child and to allow that inner child to feel loved. And bringing your inner parent face to face with that inner child, looking directly at them on the inside and letting them know how worthy they are and always have been. Just out of curiosity, I peeked underneath this Reformation card, and along with this welcome, there is this accomplishment. The two of these together are so beautiful. The energy in this reading is absolutely gorgeous. I'm so excited for you, and I'm proud of you. I hope you're proud of yourself. I'm going to leave your reading here. Please take the very best care, and I'll see you soon. Bye.